Hey guys, it's Rich with Rich Rebuilds here, and this episode is not going to be for the faint of heart. Now, we live in a day and age where you have to tell people to not eat laundry detergent pods, and because of this, I have to give you a similar warning. Do not try this at home. Make sure to wear proper safety gear, goggles, shoes, condoms if need be, and safety gloves. Do as I say, not as I do, and don't make cheesy jokes when dealing with electricity.
You sure that fuse is out? Just kidding, I'm just kidding.
We're dealing with high voltage, which can ruin anyone's day. I don't care how happy-go-lucky you are. I'm not an electrician or an engineer, nor do I follow best safety practices. I'm just tick. Today's the day we find out just how much more this project is going to cost me. The car has been underwater for 10 days, and if penetrated the battery pack, then a used replacement battery is around $15,000 on the third-party market. Now, really quickly, if you haven't been following this Tesla saga, please start off with my world's most disgusting Tesla video with my daughter and I, or the why I overpaid for this Tesla so you can find out how much I paid for it and how I got the car. You'll find those links in the video description below. Now, in the last episode, I took the battery out of the car, and now I have it here. The first thing I have to do is undo the fire barrier blanket. That will allow me access to the screws on top of the pack itself, so I can take the rest of it apart. Now, you're supposed to heat it up to warm the adhesive and peel it off slowly, but that takes way too long, so I'm just going to do it with a razor blade and cut it off to save time. Then my buddy Guz, who is far too optimistic, bets me $1 that there's no water inside the battery pack. I take that bet because it's an easy dollar I'm going to make, but neither of us have $1, so we fist bump over it just like men do. Let's do that. Let's start undoing the bolts in the battery pack. First, you have to start undoing the endless amount of screws on the rear axis cover of the battery. You get the point, right? Let's speed it up a bit.
Okay, your turn.
Then I have my daughter help me out, and keep in mind, this is only her second time using power tools. She just needed some guidance on how to not strip the bolts, and she immediately thinks she's better than me.
I think I'm better than you.
Breda, what?
I think I'm better than you.
What? Well, don't push hard, don't strip it.
I say drop out of high school and just start rebuilding Tesla batteries.
Just do this, yeah. At her age, I was not doing this, I'll tell you that much.
Okay, so normally to get the top cover off, you have to heat the sides of the adhesive or use the proper adhesive cutting tool. I actually prefer to use a metal hammer and screwdriver and my thin surgical gloves. Remember, safety first, people.
Holy crap, forgot.
What?
Fuse.
Huh?
Fuse.
Sorry about that, I forgot to remove the battery pack fuse. Let's go ahead and do that now.
All right, dude. You owe me $1.
I really wanted that battery.
No way.
To be good.
Pay up. Thank you very much. Well, we don't know that yet, so actually hold on to it.
All right, fine.
Hold on, we don't know that yet.
No guarantee.
Because it's the
It doesn't look
modules.
good,
It's not looking good, no. That does not look positive so far.
You'll void the warranty if you do this on your own.
Really?
You're not authorized.
All right, then forget it then.
It says right here, warranty will be voided.
This requires training.
Sure.
So 13s, two
I
13s.
can't believe you put your finger in there.
Why not? You're 13?
Yeah. 13.
Now here's the actual fuse, which doesn't look bad at all, but still something I don't plan on using. Either way.
I feel safer now whacking the hammer back there, though.
Okay, so now just because the fuse is out doesn't mean there isn't a high risk of danger. So let's go ahead and use metal tools to pry up the rear section. Alright, and we could see some condensation here, so there was definitely water in here at some point. Those rear modules don't look like they have any voltage in them, but we're going to see pretty soon. Now let's get that rear cover off. Time to bust out the old Hammer and Harbor Freight screwdriver. You get the point of this, right? Let's fast forward it. Okay, clearly this tiny screwdriver didn't do the trick. It's time for a nice little pry tool. Let's get a bigger pry tool. You know what? I ain't got time for this. Let's bust out the big mamma jamma.
Definitely moist in there.
You hear it? You hear the moisture?
You can see it, dude, now.
Okay, watch me play this joke on Guz now.
You sure that fuse is out? Just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. Woo, Hulk hands. Actually, it's sweaty.
Doesn't look awful, but it's not good.
Now that's off, let's test the battery pack voltage at the contactors themselves.
Wait a second. Am I crazy?
No, that's definitely accurate.
Woo! That'll ruin your day. All right, let's keep going.
That's enough high voltage exploring for me today, so we're going to roll this bad boy back into storage under a boat until I feel like working on it again. Well, the next day, we remove the battery pack from underneath the boat and drag the battery pack into the staging area and start the removal process of the top cover screws to take all of the modules out. Now, I know everyone has places to go and don't like my music choices, so you can hit mute or stand by for a couple minutes while I play this time-lapse video over a relaxing blend of hip-hop and jazz. During this time, I'll be removing the top cover screws and then using a lift to peel back the top cover of the battery pack to expose the modules and then loading them into my truck.
You sure that fuse is out? Just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding.
Guz didn't think this was very funny, so he told me to take my moldy mess and get the out of his shop. So I went back to the boat to get my battery, Hulk Hogan the battery onto the dollies, and then pulled the empty battery shell around like a dog on a leash so I could put it back in the car. Now, since the car is outside, I have to find a way to put a battery pack in the Tesla without a lift, in the parking lot. Let's cue up that relaxing music again, shall we? Okay, so that's finally done. Now Guz is going to gently place the car into the trailer like a damn surgeon. And to all those telling me to get the U-Haul aluminum trailer, they typically give you what they have in stock, which usually sucks.
All right, well, there goes that rim.
Ooh, wow. Ooh,
That's
the wheels.
the rim.
It's
Guz, I have bigger fish to fry than the curved rim, my friend.
Now before I drive the car to my buddy's place, I have to break into the car again. Haha, yeah, I get it. Black guy breaking into a car, very original. But after I break in, I have to tape the door again so it doesn't fly open on the highway.
Oh, you haven't done this before. No.
Oh, okay.
Then I get to my buddy Lee's place and he drags it off with a forklift and uses a little tuck thing to push it into the shop. Okay, so now I'm home and I'm unloading the battery modules from inside the truck to the garage. It's time for the moment of truth. How well do Tesla batteries survive being underwater for 10 days? Now, when I tested the battery pack at Guz's shop, it was reading about 360 volts, which is a good sign. So let's see how much each individual module reads. Okay, let's see. The first one's 24 volts, second one's 24 volts, third one is 23, fourth is 18, fifth is 24, sixth is 24, seventh's 24, eighth's 24, ninth's 24, and 10 is 24. The 11th module has 15 volts, the 12th has 22, the 13th had 23 volts, 14th had 24, the 15th had 24, and the 16th module read at 20 volts. Every single module survived, which is amazing considering the conditions. A friendly reminder that my last battery pack looked much worse. Salt water does serious damage. Here's a comparison between a saltwater flooded module compared to a freshwater flooded module. See the difference? Well, either way, I'm glad I landed a freshwater car. Let me know what you guys think in the news of this episode, because very soon you're going to see how water affects the main electrical wiring in the car as well. Place your bets now, and don't forget to subscribe for more madness. I'll see you all soon.